Turbos are fun until they're not.
Today, we're reacting to insane turbo fails and breaking down what went wrong. So I'm like, okay. Well, that's what you're not supposed to do.
So this would be like backyard water injection.
Does that equate to anything good?
So, I mean, there's a lot of controversy around water injection. Water injection, like sophisticated water injection.
Not this.
Is supposed to help when you have like really high combustion temperatures, really high pressures, super high performance stuff. It helps cool down the charge so you get less, less prone to detonation or pre-ignition. But there's a fine amount that is supposed to be used, and doing this is I mean,
that did not look like a fine amount. It didn't.
Here's the thing. I don't condone this. I'm just explaining backyard logic here. But it settles the water, the bulk of it settles in the intercooler, and then it's supposed to get misted into the engine that way. But again, completely unregulated, and I
cannot trust this. This is like when you're like, I'm gonna go on a diet, and then you eyeball your macros. That doesn't work out ever. I promise you.
Too much risk for me.
You do you. It's your turbo.
You do you. Yeah. You do you. Live your best life.
I personally would not make a stupid, dumb decision like this.
Idiot.
All right, let's wash into that next clip.
When was the last time you think this F10 owner changed their intercooler oil? That is some old.
Oh my God,
oil,
it's so bad.
Jesus Christ.
The Civic looked like that for a small period of time.
Did it?
Yeah. Okay, so this can happen for, I'd say 2 main reasons this can happen. And then I'll explain which one of those was mine. So you can have the oil seals inside of the turbo, because many turbos are oil lubricated, right? If those seals go bad, then it's going to suck through the turbo a bunch of oil. And then, of course, going to make it into the intercooler. And then it just builds up and builds up. And kind of like the water one, right? Like where the water's settling at the bottom of the intercooler. Well, the oil goes in there too. Now you've got some oil injection. So obviously that would be bad. You don't want that. The other reason this can happen is because you get so much crankcase pressure that you end up getting oil sucked up through the PCV system, and then that routes through the intake, and then that will fill up your intercooler, which is exactly what happened on the Civic engine. And when I took the intercooler out, it looked like that. I tried to put in a catch can, but the little catch can couldn't.
It couldn't keep up with the volume of oil that you're just sucking up into your oil.
It was
intercooler.
So bad.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've definitely seen this at a much lesser extent.
Yeah, this is a little.
Never to your extent or this. But
you just have to drain it every so
you just gotta check it out, drain it. I feel like everything, you should just stay on top of your maintenance. Create your own little maintenance intervals of just checking your intercooler, maybe getting a catch can to help out, maybe a larger one when that one stops working.
Yeah, this one looks like a catch can is not going to be enough, like my situation. But sometimes you don't have the money to fix the problem, and listen, you just got to change your intercooler oil,
and that's fine. I'm never gonna blame anyone for being broke until I'm rich. But until then, if you don't have to buy a catch can, just drain your freaking intercooler oil.
Life hack.
Yeah, life hack, just drain it out.
Use your intercooler as a catch can. Let's spill into that next clip.
Man, this is a lot of work. Wish I had an extra set of hands.
Dude, I got you.
NOS Energy Grand Prix Guava.
Yeah, it tastes great. And it'll give you that energy boost you need.
NOS Energy Grand Prix Guava packs the punch of guava and peach into one bold tropical flavor that fuels adrenaline junkies from the track to the street. It's great for long hauls or long days in the garage, helping you lock in and focus. If you have a project car, you know the work is never ending, so grab yourself a can of NOS Energy Grand Prix Guava and get your project over the finish line. You might even feel like you have an extra set of hands. Click the link in the description to learn more. Whoa, getting crazy. Whoa.
I usually put in about half a quart to probably 75% of a quart more than what the oil capacity rating is on the engine. But why exactly do I do that? Well, the LS guys told me to, and it makes sense for this reason.
Yep,
See,
they
this
were gonna
turbocharger actually
tell you
borrows
to jump
oil
off
with
a bridge. Would you do
return
it?
and feed line from the engine's oil
That's very
pan.
fair. That's a valid
I'm pretty sure
question.
the turbo uses a 1 quart system, so that means it's taking 1 quart of oil from the engine's oil pan to function. And my friend who builds a lot of these LS engines and turbocharged applications with the LS told me that he always overfills all of the cars his shop builds because he doesn't want oil starvation to occur.
I mean, it's a good point. The turbo does require a little extra oil, and so I do think that in general is a good practice. I don't know if you'd say the same amount, because not all turbochargers are the same size, and they're not going to have the same capacity. And you also have to take into consideration your oil pan. You do want to make sure that it's not so overfilled where the crankshaft's going to be touching the oil. So I'd say it's not one size fits all, but the general concept is
I mean, the
kosher.
logic behind it is very easy to understand.
Logical.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like as with everything that you do in terms of cars and modifications, just do your own research. Figure out what size turbo you have, how much oil it takes, and then account for, okay, if I add this much more oil in my engine pan, will it touch my crank?
Yeah.
Will it, like make sense for the application that I'm doing? But I mean, it sounds good to me.
Like if I already only have like a 3.5 quart system and I'm not like in a dinky little turbo, you'd probably not want to overfill by a
You're
quart.
probably going to be okay with your dinky little
But I'd say even more importantly is probably upping your viscosity, just because you're introducing boost now. Lower viscosity engine oils do not provide the same amount of protection. You figure the extra pressure inside of the cylinder walls is going to push out all the lubrication from the cylinder walls out, and you could end up scoring the cylinder walls. So I'd say more importantly, let's maybe up the viscosity for that extra pressure. And then if you want to add a little bit of extra oil in there, then that'll help. But definitely do your freaking oil changes more often.
A lot of the reason why you take a lower viscosity oil is because of the EPA and because your manufacturer wants to meet emissions
traffic
regulations.
standards,
Yes. So do what you will with that information, but just want to put it out there.
Yeah, that's a great point, because they don't care as long as your engine makes it past warranty.
Exactly.
They just want you to get the best gas mileage possible,
And low viscosity oil will help with emissions in that sense, but it will not help with the longevity and protection of your actual engine.
now you're an informed consumer. Make your own decisions.
Fuck the EPA. You can leave
That sounds like an NWA song. Next clip.
Oh, Turbo Civic engine failure.
Oh, man.
I'd be so devastated. I'd be pissed. I hope whoever recorded it was the owner, but because he handled it like a champ.
I know. That's a sad day. Was it? Okay, you can see where the turbo is, and it looks like smoke coming out the bottom. Did it blow off like... It looks like... Is that like an exhaust pipe that blew off or something, maybe, off of the turbo?
Honestly, I have horrible eyesight.
Yeah, it's so hard to see.
Hold up. I got something that could fix this.
It's like walk.
That looks like it's underneath the actual, that pipe that you're seeing.
Wait.
That just looks like a charger pipe. Look. Oh my God. You see what I'm saying? It looks like it's behind that.
It kind of looks like it.
Back to our regular scheduled programming.
That was very up close and personal. That was like when you
And make sure you guys filter that.
That was like when you get to go to like a zoo and like you get to do like a giraffe feeding experience. And you're just so close to him and you're like, whoa.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, he has a lot of pores in that. Okay, well, yeah, that's messed up, and I'd probably cry.
I would also cry.
I can't even tell you like what. I think the logical umbrella of what it could be is just overboost.
Yeah, maybe, perhaps.
And that's, I feel like, based off of what we have to discern and answer from, that is a very possible likelihood. Because in reality, I can't see anything. I can't tell you anything based.
Yeah,
on
unless
this.
it's hard to tell. Maybe you had some welds break. Maybe you had some. We don't know.
Next time, get better welds, buddy.
Do better next time.
All right, let's see the next clip.
Supercharger and turbo together sounds nuts.
What kind of car is that? Is that a Civic? No, it's a Mitsubishi. How can I say that? Don't judge me, guys. Please don't hate me.
Yeah, I was
like, why does this look like...
But I didn't want to sound stupid as hell.
And that's okay. I sounded stupid as hell.
That sounds crazy.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Also,
that sounds expensive.
That also kind of sounds like those little like toy cars that you like roll back and they wind up and then they go. A little bit. To a lesser degree.
It's got wind up energy.
Yeah.
It's got wind up energy.
I mean, you must have all the boost from the low end and the top end.
Yeah, Banks has some setups I think that are like that. But like I've only seen on like big diesel, big boy setup stuff. It's expensive. Everything in that realm is very expensive. You decide to do both. Everything has got to be beefy. The engine's got to be like incredibly beefy inside.
100%.
But and I think that's honestly why most people don't do it because it's
a lot of work. A lot of work, a lot of money.
And a lot of money.
And then what? For you to go on a dyno and then blow your
and then just blow it up anyways. Yeah, I think that's what usually ends up happening is usually catastrophic failure. Eventually something's gonna give.
That's one of my biggest fears, but that's because I'm broke. I've seen it like one too many times happen where it's like someone goes boost and then they don't build their internals.
Yeah.
So they just stock engine that's already like 100K miles in.
Yeah.
Go boost and then it just blows up on the dyno and you look at the fool that's dynoing your car, the tuner, and he's looking at you like,
you signed the waiver.
Get your on my baby.
Get your out.
I'm like, no, God, no.
God, I want to be rich so bad.
God, I hate the rich because I'm not a part of it, but if I'm in it, oh my gosh, I'd love it. It's eat the rich until I'm one of the rich, bro.
Let's wind into that next clip.
Sweet honey barbecue.
Electric. Oh my gosh. Is this Cletus?
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Electric turbos.
So,
am I stupid explaining this to me?
No, this is super cool. However, technically they're not turbos.
Oh, controversial.
Hot take.
211, my Civic makes 217.
Technically, those are not electric turbos. Those would be considered an electric supercharger, like an electric centrifugal supercharger.
Centrifugal.
If it's just the compressor wheel that, like you can see, it's a 3-phase with that connector there. It is considered a supercharger, so it'd be an e-supercharger. There are such a thing as electric turbos, however. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Oh my God.
No, it is an actual electric turbo has an intake compressor wheel and it has the exhaust wheel as well, and it has the electric motor sandwich, kind of like a Honda IMA sandwich system. He actually has a compound setup here too. So he has one E supercharger feeding into another what looks like an E supercharger. So you're actually getting like compound boost, or one's gonna build boost and then the next one's gonna build boost off of that boost. So this is like hot boost on boost energy.
You're so smart. If I was here, bro, I could not explain this. I'd be like, cool. Cool
story.
Suck.
Cool story. EVs suck.
That's what the audience was here, right? Right?
Right? Next clip. Oh my God. Okay, with the shaft looking like that, I would not be messing around like that. That's like, okay, you've established that it's
feels
broken.
like that's gonna impale me, dude.
That's what I mean. Like when you do that with compressor, and you get that sucker to spin so fast, like I wouldn't. And then the camera right there, like
and
that's just gonna
shoots
explode
out into my heart, and I die. That's what I feel like.
That's how Stephanie dies.
I can't help but sometimes think of the worst case scenario of things.
Me
And
too.
it is, I'd be like, that is like any dude would be like, ha, stand in front of it, dude, record it.
Yeah, put your face in front of it.
And then I'd be like, am I the freaking Blesco right now? Because maybe we shouldn't do that. And maybe we shouldn't die tonight.
I do feel like I live in like Final Destination moments where I'll be like, Oh my God, did anybody else just see that? Step away, everybody stop.
Stop, guys. We're all gonna die right now.
I've seen it
And
happen.
everyone's like, "You're stupid." I'm gonna keep it. And then they don't die, and then I'd look like the crazy person.
But it could have happened.
It could have.
The turbo's obviously bad.
What is he doing? What is that?
You can see the shaft, like,
Yeah. What is he doing? Is he trying to?
he's just trying to show us, I think.
Well,
he didn't
no,
need
he
to
has
set
something
that
in
for
it.
us.
What did he have?
No, that's just that chewed up, bro. Like,
That
yeah.
that little.
The fans, like, look at the fans, because the shaft's wobbling.
No, but what did he pull out after? You see what I'm saying?
Oh, that's an air nozzle.
Oh, okay.
That's how he's, yeah.
That's a fat.
I know, right? Big ol' donkey air nozzle.
That's horrible, bro. If one of those blades just
Yikes. And it's
broke
all,
off
like,
and
it's
flew
already
at
bad.
you?
God, you can see how the fins are bent because that thing's been whacking around.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Yikes.
So put yourself in harm's way is such a guy thing.
I do kind of feel
Yo,
like
if you guys ever put yourself in harm's way, let us know in the comments right now. I'm just curious. I want to know.
Let's spin into the next clip. First time you've ever heard a turbo? It is cool though.
It is.
It's, you know,
I listen.
fun.
Leg modifications sound cool.
I really like how excited he is though.
I love their setup. I can't say I've ever seen a setup like this. It kind of feels like it's a trophy mount in the sense of like you're trying to like really show it off.
It's rear. I mean, the biggest benefit of rear mounts is that they're just cheap and easy.
Yeah.
And we broke the turbo.
Oh, cracked the fin.
Too much boost.
I don't think it was too much boost. I think that's just a piece of turbo.
It doesn't. Yeah. It's all the impeller blades are all the same exact color.
There's no
That's like a
marking. This is probably like just like a cheap off market.
I can't talk smack. Listen, I have 2 Chinese eBay turbos in my garage. As we
You
speak.
know, it's a gamble.
It is.
You know, sometimes you have good luck with them. Sometimes they blow the first time.
Also, I mean, yeah, it's listen, it's a fin that got cracked or broken. I don't think that was due to overboost, but
No, I don't.
I'm definitely like curious how much boost they were running. Just how
I know. Yeah, me too. Me too. Especially, I don't know if they're making jokes about it being too much boost. That just feels like poor manufacturing.
yeah.
And look at the setup. I'm gonna bet it's not a brand new turbo, and I'm gonna bet that it was used to begin with. So
Are you telling me this is class A craftsmanship? Yeah, I mean, you know this good old saying, buy once, cry once, and I feel like you can get away with like cheaping out on like an exhaust, an intake, pipe, whatever, but especially when you start going boost, performance, things that really matter and are expensive and the setup is not super easy, yeah, maybe opt out for the name brand reputable turbo.
yeah. And if not, then you're taking a gamble. You know what game you're playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm sorry this happened to you. Sorry for your loss.
Sorry, not sorry.
Get another cheap
I'm just
turbo.
kidding, that's really mean. Yeah, just buy another cheap turbo. Throw it in there.
Yeah.
What is it, like $200 on eBay?
If you want to see even more RMS videos, click somewhere in the vicinity here. And thank you so much for watching. And we love you. Bye. Have a beautiful time.
All right, y'all, if you're a mechanic or an automotive industry professional and you think you got the chops to kick it with us right here in this studio, go ahead and fill out that link in the bio.